Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a commentary type thing where we discuss things with friends. Normally we'll have a special guest come with me, be around every week. And today's special guest is one of my good friends, Prunker. Say hi.
Hello.
And today's topic is going to be kind of about just it's a bit of a sensitive one, so if you don't really like violence or if you don't really like school shootings or hearing anything about that, then I recommend
Anything
not
about guns,
watching.
basically.
Yeah. And I'm only gonna have some slight jokes, but that's more about the addicting side and how some parents are a bit stupid at times when it comes to how bad video games really are. But anyways, enough rambling on. Prunker, take it away.
So basically, basically games that I think of game violence off the bat is Fortnite, which that's one that I've heard possibly one of the most in the COD series. I
Mm.
actually understand that truly since I actually did rage a lot when I played Call of Duty.
Mm.
But yeah, so
I feel
basically that was. You said you want to say something? Or?
I was gonna say I feel there are some good points about how maybe something like COD or
Yeah.
Six Siege, them type of games can teach you a lot
Oh
about guns,
yeah.
especially since they go really into detail about what they are, what attachments they have. Because of course, if
Yeah.
you sometimes people who just play shooting games, especially when they're younger, will know more than maybe a military soldier or nicknames for them as well, which is kind of
Yeah.
odd.
I've
But
I've kind of just playing from the Battlefield series. I basically learned a lot of weapons names from that since I used the
yeah,
actual guns names.
so
Oh,
somebody could just walk into the school, maybe not a child obviously, but maybe somebody could walk into a store and be like, oh, can I have this, they say the specific gun name and say come with this attachment and come with that. But I feel like it doesn't really stem too much from video games. I feel like parents are taking it too far, they're trying to make excuses and not thinking about maybe either they've done bad parenting or they just couldn't notice the signs. Sometimes it's not even their fault, it's just it's really hard to see their signs, but they think, oh, it's all my
yeah.
fault. No, it can't be. So they just kind of go off games. And especially since the media and news and stuff really attacks video games, typically, it's very easy to kind of trick people into thinking, oh, video games is the worst thing ever. This is what causing our kids. I actually heard about a lawsuit that was gonna happen against the people who made Fortnite Epic
Oh
Games
yeah.
because they were saying it's too addictive apparently, and it was as bad as doing a drug, which is kind of funny because if that came into law, it's illegal to play video games as a drug. Imagine bringing your DS or Switch into school
It's
and
kind
being
of
like,
it's kind of if I remember the with Nintendo product, it's basically, well, not Nintendo but caffeine. That's
oh
considered a
yeah,
drug in America, but we don't ban it. We don't outlaw it because it's in everything that we drink. And
mm.
it's basically, yeah, it's
But
so is sugar. That's a drug for some people. So what I really noticed is that
they'll ban something
basically a lot of stuff.
video games, yet they won't ban actual things that would hurt people. Like for example, cigarettes. Of
Oh
course,
yeah.
it's very hard to get off of it, and it would kind of become a heavier kind of smuggling business. But
Now, yeah, I might say something kind of controversial here, but vaping. That's
oh
getting
yeah,
that's kind of really big,
I feel
nowadays instead of back in the day, really. But like maybe I'd have to say 10 years ago when, well, I think it was, I can't remember when I first heard about vape products, but I
mm,
remember just hearing just nothing really bad about them, like they're the alternative cigarette.
yeah. I feel though they're banning vapes, which aren't as bad compared to alcohol, cigarettes, all these
Yeah.
other type of things. Yet because six deaths were caused by vaping, they're apparently,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that should be illegal. Oh, it's killing people. Most horrible project ever. And I feel like if they're gonna ban stuff over simple things like that, then God knows what they're gonna nitpick and ban for after it kills one person. You know, it's similar with like kind of things that happen in school. Like half of the time, it's not even the person's fault; it's the products. You know, for example,
Yeah.
vaping, they put a lot of nicotine in it. Like what's made up in a cigarette and what's made up in a vape is what made them addicted in the first place. So it's kind of stupid how they blame the
And
person.
what I've actually found out is that vaping is actually not as safe as smoking a cigarette, basically. Because here's the thing: if you were to crack open a vape and drink the insides, it contains like one drop of like a one drop of nicotine, and that would just straight out kill a human being.
Mm. And then like
Yeah.
another thing is though, like to do the products type thing, it's not even just like do vaping or smoke or anything. Like these people blame the children for being addicted or
Yeah.
spending too much time in the games when it's really just the companies, man. Like they're designing their games into thinking, oh, this is a fun experience, when all they're trying to do is milk the cash out of you. They're trying to
Yeah.
do this and that. They're trying to manipulate you to keep on going. But I feel like, although yes, they are manipulating them, making them gamble, basically, making them do like kind of bad habits, but not to the point where they kill. I feel like that's just kind of from bullying, you know, like just from general things that happen. Like your typical kid isn't gonna play COD and instantly be like, I want to go shoot a school now, or go. Obviously, it would probably take time if that actually was a case, but there's no real case on it. It would pause on causes by it. So, I mean, it's a bit ridiculous. And I feel like even though it is caused by bullying, and sometimes it's just parents don't see the signs of bad parenting.
Bad teaching. Like,
Mm,
what I've noticed a lot is like it's bad teaching sometimes.
mm.
Like, teachers don't support students.
Yeah, don't notice hard enough or try and support the ones that actually are
Yeah.
like caught. So, like another thing is though, even though video games are causing violence, like video games, like scummy type video games, are still manipulating children into doing things. For
Like
example,
Mortal
gambling.
Kombat. Yeah,
Yeah, you
gambling.
literally.
Like, one thing that I do like about Rainbow Six Siege though is like with the alpha pack system, you can't buy them with real world money like in Overwatch.
Mm.
You have to play the game to earn it.
And they go so far to manipulate people, man. Like, let's say your favorite YouTuber is opening up a loot box pack or something, and then they get like some legendary super rare card or something, or a super rare item.
Yeah.
But then when you go and open it, you see that it's way harder to get it, and they just kind of manipulate people, especially how much is still. I saw with NBA, literally the brand new, like some of the brand new stuff was literally just plain out gambling. There was slot machines, there were like roulette wheels, there was like just plain out gambling left, right and centre. Yet the ESRB, the people who literally review games, and if they've gambling, most of the time it's banned in most countries anyway, and is also like the ones responsible for giving a rating to see if a game's friendly for kids. And they're saying that a 3-year-old can gamble on a basketball game, yet when it comes to something like GTA, of course that's a bit more than just gambling, but let's say it just had the gambling element, it would still probably be an 18 anyway.
And
So
if I
it's,
remember, GTA just added gambling to it.
and plus
Not that long ago.
it's pretty much impossible. Like, it's really hard to gamble. You have to really try and somehow spend your money into it, because any money you spend on like actual GTA money to try and gamble, I don't think you can do. So it's just taking time and then gambling, which is decently hard to do.
Yeah.
And it's virtual currency, and it's more of a safe space to gamble for people who are actually addicted than people who actually gamble. So, you know, I find it a bit invalid. And then you have the new Ghost Recon game that came out, and Fallout 76 and games like that, where they just...
Also, this was just basically that was just a broke scam. I
Mm,
played. I pre-ordered it, and I got to play 1 day of the pre-order because of the beta took so much to download.
exactly. And they're rushing these games out
Yeah.
yearly, and people keep going for them, going for them. They're making promises. They're like, oh, we won't put loot boxes next year. They'll put next month. They'll
Yeah.
put loot boxes in their brand new quote unquote monthly expansion update. And I find it like, especially like the new Ghost Recon thing that came out, I find it a
Oh
bit
yeah.
ridiculous how you literally pay money to get less out of the game because you would rather not spend your time going through missions and kind of grinding almost to get your stuff. But then
Yeah.
grinding too much at the same time is another problem because then it's like, oh hey, here's like a kind of skipping solution if you don't like it. Like I get it if you do make a lot of money and you just kind of want to get into the fun, exciting parts. Maybe I could see that,
Yeah.
but that's kind of on another level. And the fact you have to grind so much if you don't spend money is ridiculous to the point where they kind of just like guilt trip your way in. And I don't like it when they say, oh, but you could just play, like it takes way too long, and you're basically eventually going to give in to the fact you want to spend money. So yeah, uh, bit out of a topic right now, but
Yeah.
still a bit like with Star Wars Battlefront 2, like they reverted it back and said sorry. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
they would, yeah, later on they would do the exact same thing, except not as shoved in your face, you know. And slowly more and more games are getting away with it. Like in the new Modern Warfare game, everyone's like, oh, perfect game, amazing. Yeah, there's already been leaks, and they're trying to make decisions. They're struggling whether to put loot boxes in.
Yes.
You can tell
Like
Triple
it's a
A.
pay to win. I've noticed a
Exactly.
lot. Like with it, it's like the like it's gonna be like all the other Call of Duties. Like you can get, it's gonna be a pay to win to get guns, like different guns.
Exactly. And then they're like, what if they just don't make money? And they're like, you don't need money. You're a $1 billion company, and you
Yeah.
paid full price, 60 pounds slash dollars for a full game.
Whatever.
Yet
Yeah.
you're, yet they come in like 10 editions. They'll have some that come in like 5 editions, like gold
Yeah.
edition, platinum edition, supreme edition, collection. I don't mind the collector's edition. Sometimes that makes a bit more
Yeah.
sense, but stuff like the gold edition or season passes, like just give us free content. More people buy your game, or even if like you kind of like even like just cosmetic stuff in general being paid is kind of irritating, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't really know, man. Like I don't know why they're doing any of this. I guess it's just to make more and more money. But they're kind of just killing off their company, and it's kind of when lower companies are not people who are really gullible fall into it, it's kind of ridiculous sometimes, because then they just pretty much lose all their like type of reputation, and then they just go downhill. So in conclusion, any mums watching, 99% sure they aren't,
Parents.
don't your local Karen, don't just don't believe in this whole video games cause violence thing. If anything, you should be blaming, or even anything that quote unquote cause violence when they don't, for a matter, is kind of based on the product and not on the child. But even then, no matter how odd a product is or how misleading it is, don't believe it's from the company or the game that's causing it. It's obviously something that's currently happening to them. They're not telling you. So I feel like sometimes, even if it's not even just parents, they're like other people. Like you see a kid kind of just sad there. Most people just trying to call and don't go after the kid who isn't with a group of other people, you know. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just like, oh, and that's what that's what I sometimes do. Like I just see someone in the class, they don't speak a lot maybe, or they just don't. You just don't see them with a bunch of people. Just approach them. It's not that hard. I mean, you could literally be the best thing that ever came to them in their lives. Maybe not in like a relationship type way, but just in a good friend way. And you never know, they could probably like the same things as you. So I think it's just mostly to do with more mental issues than like actual video games. And I think the second message really, which was the other part of this video, is like the fact that video game companies give too much monetization and too much like scummy loot box gambling tactics,
Yeah.
you know, to try and make people spend money on the game. So yeah, do you have any last things you want to input before we end the
Not
video?
really.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much worn out on my rant. I'm kind of sticking between whether to call this a commentary or a rant series, as one of my mates said. So yeah, like if you like the video, like it, but only if you did like it, and dislike if you didn't, obviously. And subscribe if you want more. And if you subscribed, you might as well turn that post notification bell on while you're at it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys,
Okay,
welcome
so
back.